President Bola Tinubu's plan to grow the economy to $1 trillion. The announcement was made by the CEO of the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, Engineer Gbenga Komolafe, at the Project 1 million barrels per day investment forum in London. Komolafe says the 43 field development plans recorded this year could unlock 1.7 billion barrels of crude and 7.7 trillion cubic feet of gas, supporting Nigerians' goal to reach 3 million barrels per day. Meanwhile, the special advisor to the president on energy, Olu Veijen, stressed that achieving this target will require strong, performance-based stewardship of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company. Crude production has remained around 1.3 to 1.5 million barrels per day over the last 2 years, highlighting the challenge ahead. And now for some international stories. The United Nations says women fleeing Sudan's Al-Fashir city are reporting killings, systematic rape, and the disappearance of children following its capture by the Rapid Support Force, RSF, on October 26. UN Women Regional Director Anna Mutavi said sexual violence is being used deliberately as a weapon of war, leaving women with no safe spaces or access to care. Around 11 million women and girls in Darfur face severe food insecurity, with many attacked while searching for food. The UN estimates that 82,000 people have fled Al-Fashir.
Women's bodies have been turned into crime scenes in Sudan as those fleeing Al-Fashir recount experiences of rape, violence and famine. That's according to the United Nations Agency for Women on Tuesday.
Women's bodies, ladies and gentlemen, have just become a crime scene in Sudan. There are no safe spaces that are left, nowhere for women to gather safely, to seek protection, or even access even the most basic psychosocial care.
This story contains graphic images and descriptions of violence. Al-Fashir's fall on October 26 has cemented the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, or RSF's, control of the Darfur region in its 2.5-year war with the Sudanese army. Videos of soldiers killing civilians on the outskirts of the city and reports of attacks on those escaping have raised international alarm. And evidence is mounting that rape is being deliberately and systematically used as a weapon of war, according to Anna Mutavati, the UN Women Regional Director for East and Southern Africa.
Field reports describe women foraging for wild leaves and berries to boil into soup. While doing this, they face additional risks of violence, including abduction and sexual and gender-based violence.
Around 11 million women and girls are facing acute food insecurity in famine-struck Darfur. About 82,000 people have fled Al-Fashir and surrounding areas since October 26, according to the UN. As many as 200,000 people may still be trapped inside the city, according to estimates of its population, towards the end of the 18-month siege. The UN Human Rights Chief said last week he feared summary executions, rape and ethnically motivated violence are continuing in Al-Fashir.
In other news, Turkey says 20 soldiers were killed when a C-130 military transport plane crashed in Georgia on Tuesday, marking the country's deadliest military disaster since 2020. The aircraft, en route from Azerbaijan to Turkey, went down in Georgia's Kayhati district, scattering debris across a grassy hillside. Ankara said investigations are underway in coordination with Georgian and Azerbaijan authorities. Footage circulating online showed the plane breaking apart mid-air before impact, while the Turkish Defense Ministry released the names of all 20 victims as global leaders sent condolences.
A Turkish military airplane carrying at least 20 people crashed in Georgia on Tuesday after departing from Azerbaijan. Authorities reported casualties, though the exact number was unclear, and the cause of the crash was not immediately known. Turkey's defense ministry said 20 Turkish personnel were on board the C-130 cargo plane, including the flight crew, but provided no additional details on possible passengers of other nationalities. President Tayyip Erdogan interrupted the speech in Ankara to offer condolences.
İnşallah God willing, we will overcome this crash with minimum hardships. May God rest the soul of our martyrs, and let us be with them through our prayers.
The C-130 Hercules is a cargo, troop, and equipment carrier aircraft that can make use of unprepared runways for takeoffs and landings. Its versatile airframe has enabled it to be used for other purposes as well, including as a gunship and for airborne assault and reconnaissance operations. U.S. firm Lockheed Martin, which makes the C-130 Hercules that is widely used by air forces around the world, did not immediately respond to a request for comment.
Still on international stories, Israel's Strategic Affairs Minister Ron Dermer, a key advisor to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and former ambassador to the U.S., has resigned after nearly 2 years in office. In his resignation letter, Dermer said he had twice extended his tenure to help tackle Iran's nuclear threats and negotiate a Gaza ceasefire, including efforts to secure the release of Israeli hostages. Dermer, who served as Israel's envoy to Washington from 2013 to 2021, was one of Netanyahu's closest allies and played a major role in U.S.-Israel diplomacy. Dozens of indigenous protesters stormed the COP30 climate summit in Belém, Brazil, demanding forest protection and climate action. They clashed with security, who used barricades to push them back, leaving at least one guard injured. Protesters carried signs like "Our land is not for sale" and criticized agribusiness, oil exploration, and illegal logging. While indigenous leaders, including Tupinambas Nato and Chief Raoni Metuker, called for greater empowerment in forest management and climate negotiations. The group dispersed after the clash.
We don't eat money. We want our territory free. But the business of oil exploration, mineral exploration, and logging continues.
And that's all from TVM's Metro Update. I am Blessing Sampson. You can watch us on the go on TVM's app, accessible on Android Play Store and Apple Store. Follow us and interact with our social media pages. Like, subscribe, and share. And remember, your environment is part of you. Do keep it clean.